In the tranquil town of Dickinson, Texas, where neighbors greeted each other with warm smiles and the echo of children's laughter filled the air, a sinister shadow lurked, waiting to shatter the peace. Jennifer Schuett, an 8-year-old girl, became the victim of a heinous crime that would not only test her resilience, but also pose a daunting challenge to law enforcement. But what drove her assailant to commit such an atrocious act, and could this tragedy have been foreseen? Jennifer's story began on a seemingly ordinary night in 1990, a night that would forever change the course of her life. But to truly understand the depth of this crime, we must delve into the psyche of the perpetrator, Dennis Earl Bradford. What in Bradford's past could have hinted at the monstrous act he was capable of committing? Bradford, a man with a seemingly normal upbringing, had a past marred by subtle yet significant red flags. At the age of 13, he experienced a traumatic event that deeply affected him. This event, which remained a shadowy chapter in his history, was often speculated to have been a catalyst for his later actions. Was this the moment that set Bradford on a path of destruction, or were there other unseen factors at play? Experts in criminal psychology often point to a combination of genetic, environmental, and psychological factors in the making of a criminal mind. In Bradford's case, this trifecta appeared to be at work. A history of mental health issues, coupled with a troubled family life and socially deviant behavior, painted a picture of a man on the brink. But it's not just about what makes a man turn to crime. It's about what drives a man to commit a crime so heinous, so unimaginable. One can't help but wonder, did Bradford exhibit any early warning signs? Reports and interviews with those who knew him hinted at a pattern of antisocial behavior, often a precursor to more serious criminal activities. How does this pattern compare to others who have committed similar crimes? Experts suggest that while each case is unique, certain behaviors, such as cruelty to animals, obsession with fire, and persistent lying, are commonly observed in the histories of violent criminals. Did Bradford display such tendencies? Moreover, the role of mental illness in criminal behavior cannot be overlooked. Was Bradford suffering from an undiagnosed or untreated mental illness? Could this have contributed to his inability to empathize with his victims, leading him down a path of irreversible violence? These questions linger, echoing the complexities of human psychology and its dark recesses. As we explore the intricate tapestry of Bradford's life, we cannot ignore the societal and familial factors that may have played a role. Was his family environment one that could foster such darkness? Did his social interactions, or lack thereof, contribute to his detachment from societal norms? Understanding these aspects is crucial in painting a complete picture of the man who committed an unthinkable crime against an innocent child. This deep dive into Bradford's psyche and past is not just an exercise in understanding a criminal mind. It's a journey into the heart of darkness that exists in the fringes of society. A reminder of the fine line that separates ordinary people from those who commit acts that defy comprehension. As we unravel the layers of this complex case, we are left with lingering questions. What turns a seemingly ordinary individual into a perpetrator of such a horrific crime? How much of this transformation is due to nature and how much to nurture? And most importantly, could the tragedy that befell Jennifer Schuett have been prevented? On a warm summer night in August 1990, the small town of Dickinson, Texas, became the backdrop for a crime so chilling it would haunt the community for decades. Jennifer Schuett, just 8 years old, lay asleep in her bed, unaware of the horror that was about to unfold. What happened that night? How did a routine evening turn into a nightmare of such magnitude? The silence of the night was broken when Dennis Earl Bradford, a man whose disturbed psyche we have just explored, made his sinister move. He silently entered Jennifer's room, a space that should have been her safe haven. In the dead of night, he abducted her, carrying her away from the safety of her home. The tranquility of the town was shattered, and a family's worst nightmare began to unfold. But what exactly transpired during those dark hours? The details are harrowing, yet crucial in understanding the extent of this heinous crime. Jennifer was taken to a secluded field, a place where no child should ever find themselves, especially not in the hands of a man like Bradford. The isolation of the location was strategic, chosen by Bradford to carry out his despicable act away from prying eyes. But what drove Bradford to choose this particular location? Was it merely convenience, or was there a more sinister motive at play? In this field, Jennifer was subjected to unimaginable horrors. The brutality of the assault was not just physical, it was a profound violation of innocence, a shattering of the very essence of childhood. Bradford's actions were not just criminal, they were a stark reminder of the evil that can lurk beneath the surface of seemingly ordinary individuals. After the assault, Bradford left Jennifer for dead. The callousness of this act raises a crucial question. What goes through the mind of a perpetrator in such a moment? Is it a sense of power, a complete disregard for human life, or something even more unfathomable? The clothing worn by Bradford that night, while seemingly a minor detail, holds significance. His attire was later described by Jennifer as ordinary, almost forgettable. This ordinariness is a chilling reminder of how predators can hide in plain sight, blending into society while harboring dark intents. How does the banality of Bradford's appearance contrast with the monstrous nature of his actions? Equally important are the interactions between Bradford and Jennifer. Though the details are painful, they provide critical insight into the dynamics of the crime. Jennifer's recollections of Bradford's words and actions offer a glimpse into the mind of a criminal at the moment of their crime. What do these interactions reveal about Bradford's mindset and his perception of his young victim? As dawn broke, the Schuett family's world was turned upside down. Jennifer was found, miraculously alive but gravely injured. The discovery of her, alive yet so brutally harmed, sent shockwaves through the community. The resilience and strength Jennifer displayed in those moments are nothing short of extraordinary. But what was the immediate impact of this discovery on the investigation? How did law enforcement react to this rare case of a victim surviving such a brutal attack? As the sun rose over Dickinson, Texas, casting light on the unspeakable crime committed against Jennifer Schuett, the wheels of justice began to turn, albeit slowly. The resolution and conclusion of this harrowing case were not immediate. They were the result of years of relentless investigation, unwavering determination, and a survivor's courage that refused to dim. The investigation into Jennifer's abduction and assault faced numerous challenges. Initially, leads were scarce and evidence was minimal. Jennifer, despite her young age and trauma, provided crucial details, including a description of her assailant. But in a pre-DNA era, the lack of physical evidence and advanced forensic techniques hampered the investigation's progress. How did law enforcement officers navigate these limitations, and what strategies did they employ to keep the case active? A turning point in the investigation came years later with the advent of DNA technology. The evidence collected from the crime scene, once inconclusive, became the key to unlocking the identity of Jennifer's assailant. The implementation of this technology raised a critical question. How many cold cases like Jennifer's could be solved with these advancements? The impact of scientific progress on criminal investigations cannot be understated, offering a glimmer of hope in seemingly hopeless situations. But the journey to justice was not solely a scientific endeavor. It was also a testament to human resilience and determination. Jennifer, now an adult, became an active participant in the investigation. Her unwavering commitment to finding her attacker was a driving force in the case. How did Jennifer's involvement shape the investigation? What does it reveal about the role of survivors in solving their cases? In a dramatic development, DNA evidence finally led to the identification of Dennis Earl Bradford as the perpetrator. This breakthrough was not just a triumph of forensic science. It was a moment of profound vindication for Jennifer and a testament to the perseverance of the investigators. But what were the immediate consequences of this identification for Bradford? How did the legal system respond to this newfound evidence against a man who had evaded justice for so long? The resolution of the case, however, was not as straightforward as one might expect. Bradford's apprehension and subsequent legal proceedings presented their own set of complexities. The psychological analysis of Bradford, crucial for the prosecution, offered insights into the mind of a criminal who had lived a seemingly normal life for years after the crime. How did this analysis aid in the prosecution, and what challenges did it pose in the courtroom? The conclusion of the Jennifer Schuett case marks not only the end of a long, arduous journey for justice, but also the beginning of a new chapter in the realms of criminal justice and survivor advocacy. The aftermath of this crime and the subsequent capture and trial of Dennis Earl Bradford reverberated far beyond the confines of Dickinson, Texas, leaving an indelible mark on all those it touched. In the wake of Bradford's identification and arrest, the immediate consequences were profound. The community, which had lived under the shadow of this unresolved crime, felt a mix of relief and renewed grief. Bradford's apprehension brought closure, but it also reopened old wounds. What was the community's reaction to this resolution, and how did it begin to heal from such a traumatic event? For Jennifer, the arrest of her assailant was a pivotal moment. It represented a triumph of her unwavering courage and a validation of her decades-long struggle for justice. But what was the emotional and psychological impact on Jennifer, who had to face her attacker and relive her trauma? Her journey highlights the resilience of the human spirit and the importance of survivor advocacy in the criminal justice system. Bradford's trial was a crucial event not only for the case, but for the broader discussion on criminal behavior and justice. During the trial, the prosecution presented the detailed psychological profile of Bradford, shedding light on the factors that may have led him to commit such a heinous crime. But how did this information influence the jury's perception and the trial's outcome? The role of psychological analysis in criminal trials is a complex and often debated topic. In Bradford's case, it provided crucial context for understanding the nature of his actions. However, the trial took an unexpected turn. Bradford, facing life in prison, took his own life in his jail cell. This shocking development raised several questions. What led Bradford to this decision? How did it affect the resolution of the case? Did it provide closure, or did it leave more questions unanswered? The current whereabouts and status of Jennifer Schuett stand in stark contrast to those of her assailant. Jennifer has become a vocal advocate for survivors of similar crimes, using her experience to help others. Her transformation from a victim to a survivor and advocate is a powerful narrative of hope and strength. But how has this role impacted her life, and what message does she hope to convey to other survivors and society at large? The consequences of this crime extend beyond the individuals directly involved. It has influenced law enforcement practices, particularly in how cold cases are approached, and the importance of DNA evidence in solving crimes. What changes have been implemented in the wake of this case? How have they impacted criminal investigations? As we reflect on the case of Jennifer Schuett, we are reminded of the complexities of human behavior, the resilience of the human spirit, and the ever-evolving nature of criminal justice. This case is not just a story of a crime. It's a narrative about survival, justice, and the unyielding pursuit of truth. How will Jennifer's story inspire change and hope in others facing similar battles? Her journey is a testament to the power of perseverance and the importance of never giving up in the face of adversity. The Jennifer Schuett case, a saga of unimaginable trauma and extraordinary resilience, reaches far beyond the confines of a typical criminal investigation. It presents a narrative that intertwines the darkest aspects of human nature with the unyielding light of survival and justice. In the immediate aftermath of Dennis Earl Bradford's suicide, a complex mix of emotions enveloped all those connected to the case. For Jennifer, this unexpected turn of events brought a multitude of feelings. While Bradford's death meant he would never face a jury, it also marked the end of a long, haunting chapter in Jennifer's life. The closure was, in many ways, bittersweet. How did Jennifer process this abrupt conclusion to her quest for justice? And what implications did it have for her healing journey? The impact of Bradford's suicide on the legal outcome of the case was significant. While it brought an abrupt end to the criminal proceedings, it also left unanswered questions about the motivations and underlying factors that led to the crime. What insights were lost with Bradford's death, and how did this affect the broader understanding of criminal psychology? Jennifer Schuett's transformation in the wake of her ordeal is nothing short of inspirational. From a young girl who endured unimaginable horrors to a powerful advocate for survivors, her journey embodies the very essence of resilience. Her advocacy work has not only given her a platform to share her story, but has also provided hope and support to others who have faced similar traumas. How has Jennifer's activism influenced policies and practices regarding survivor support and the handling of child abduction cases? The case's resolution also prompted a reevaluation of investigative techniques, particularly in cold cases. The success of DNA technology in identifying Bradford underscored its importance in modern law enforcement. What changes have been implemented in investigative protocols as a result of this case? And how have these advancements contributed to solving other cold cases? Beyond the realms of law enforcement and survivor advocacy, The Jennifer Schuett case has left an indelible mark on the community of Dickinson and beyond. It has raised awareness about the importance of child safety and the need for community vigilance. How has this case shaped community approaches to safety and prevention of similar crimes? In conclusion, the story of Jennifer Schuett is a powerful testament to the human spirit's resilience in the face of unimaginable adversity. It highlights the crucial role of advancements in forensic science, the importance of survivor advocacy, and the need for continued vigilance and empathy in our communities. As we reflect on this case, we are reminded of the strength that can emerge from the darkest of times and the enduring spirit of justice and healing. Jennifer Schuett's story does not end here. It continues in every survivor who finds their voice, in every investigator who refuses to give up on a cold case, and in every community member who takes a stand to protect the innocent. It's a story of hope, strength, and the relentless pursuit of justice.